Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. We are live at Citam Thika. Sorry. We are live at Citam Thika Road grounds here at is it Jacaranda or Kiambu Road? I'm yet to know.
Yeah.
But we are doing the most innovative thing here right now. We are having an expo that is going to bring businesses and creative innovators and exhibitors and entrepreneurs from all around here in Kenya. Let me say in Kenya because
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
met a lot of people from
Yeah,
different
sure.
sides.
Sure.
So at this point, at this hour, at this minute, at this second, we have our sponsors here for today, the 0DB, who we are going to do a short interview segment.
Yeah,
They are
sure.
going to tell us about
Yeah.
them.
Yep.
And there's something that I want to know.
Yeah.
Why 0DB?
Oh, 0DB.
That is something that you have to explain after you introduce yourself kindly.
Yeah, 0DB is a name that I thought of some years back, around 2018. So I was doing sound. So I'm more many people wananijua na sound. So I was doing sound, and the optimum level when you are operating a sound system or a sound mixer is always recommended as like 0 decibels.
Okay.
0 decibels inakwanga ni not too loud, not too quiet, inakwanga tu their optimum level yenye iko safe for everyone to listen. So hata ukifanya sound Sini next week. Next week. Easy tunajua next week but one. Hatuwezi miss. But haijakuwa intentional. Ushago hatujaenda for a while, ndio ilikuwa time ya kuenda na but so let's connect next week. Next week tutakam. Tuko. Alafu is it like can you several pictures collage? Ready? Ko sawa? Sawa. So we can start all over again. You don't have to apologize about the technical issues. Hiyo imeenda hivyo. Kuna ile ilikuwa? Usihead, tuendelee tu. So tuta continue tu. You can talk about the technical hitches basi. Next week tuko.
Sorry about the technicalities, but we are good to go as we speak right now. And as he was saying, he was telling us about why the name 0DB.
Yes.
Why did you think of that name?
So 0DB has evolved over the years. So back in 2018, I was doing sound. I've been doing sound since 2014. And mostly I've been doing sound in church as an operator, installer, and all that. So when I was thinking to start a company, I thought about exactly what I do. So in sound, the recommended level for sound, especially in the sound meter by ISO, International Standard Organizations, is 0 decibels. And that is how I got that inspiration, because I also realized that 0 decibel is not too loud, it's not too quiet, it's just an optimum level of sound which when I'm operating haitakuwa ati lazima niongeze sana. And that's why you find that even your TV, if you change from one song to another, zinakuanga zote ni kama ziko standard. It means there's a standard of levels that is recommended for anything that you are producing. So 0 decibels now, that is how I came up with the name of my company, where we have evolved over the years. So apart from doing sound, it was 0DB audiovisual, we evolved to 0DB creatives, because we also started working in videography, photography, graphic design and all that. And then recently, we evolved to 0DB technologies, because apart from being a creatives, from doing installation and all that, we also using technology to impact, especially in the media industry. We use technology to just support the media industry. Like what you are doing right now, we are live. So we are using technology to make sure that we are live, using the equipment and all that. So that's how we came up to be.
Okay, you have talked about sound.
Yes.
You have talked about videography. You have talked about photography. You have talked about live streaming and everything else.
Yes.
Collectively, how how does the company manage to do all those things at once? Because it's a lot of things
Yeah.
to be doing for like a business that is starting, right?
Yeah, doing a lot of things.
When did you guys start?
So the company started back in 2019, and then we registered it 2020. So what has been happening? The founder, I am the founder.
Okay.
So what I've been doing, I have skills in all those areas. I get people who I mentor, and when I mentor them, we work together to ensure that if this guy is good in photography, I'll mentor them to be the best photographer, and they will be working for my company to do photography. If this guy is good in live stream, I'll mentor them to do good live stream. And so it's not one person who is doing everything. It's a group of people who are coming together and doing what is required to be done. So what I do and what I've continually done is to mentor people, especially the young people who are starting and they have already maybe identified their career. I train them and then give them opportunity to serve together.
We have talked of mentorship. You know, there's a big difference between, let me just say, a thin line between mentorship and teaching.
Yes.
You also
Continue when you join our company or continue when you go to do it on your own. So what we do, we share our experiences. We understand the challenges that starters have. So when we organize a training, it's not just about the technicalities, it's also about how to do things right. So when someone comes to our training, they will get out of that training as a better person. They can continue on their own. Like spending an hour with us for a training session is something that can just open your mind and you go without even needing us. You can be able even to do your own research. I'll use an example. Like if you want to learn how to operate a camera, sometimes you can go to YouTube and learn from YouTube. But sometimes people will do that and they still get stuck. But now, when you come and start with us, you can be able to continue with YouTube because you have the basics that you require. So YouTube will just be helping you to get better. Because now from our side, we understand as a starter, what are you supposed to do? Yeah.
So for the viewers, why don't you go step by step and tell them the packages that is available from photography to videography to live streaming, to podcasting, each and everything, right?
So 0dB technologies, we have a lot of things, and but all of them are related with is media technicals, and that is photography, videography, sound, and also installation of all those systems. So we also have a podcast studio, which is just new studio. It's just 2 months old, where we have been doing our podcast at the same time, and we also have clients who comes to record their podcast there. And we are having a lot of packages in terms of podcasting, where you can be a member of the studio and be recording your podcast and get like 3 or 4 sessions in a month, and you don't have to worry about the camera work, editing, all that. We get that sorted for you. The other part of it is in the same studio, you can come for photography, for photo sessions, where within an hour we just take few photos for you. And then the other part of it, we also cover events live streaming, like the way we are streaming right now. So if you have an event that you want to be covered live, you don't have to struggle about anything. All you have to do is to contact us, and we will sort you in terms of the technicalities that is required for live stream. So then the other part, if you are on organizations like a church, we do system design and installation. Maybe for media, your media equipment and all that, and also sound system. At the same time, the most important part, because after installation we always get challenges where a church wants us to help them in operating the same system. We extend a training for the team of volunteers in the church and train them like for 3 or 4 sessions, and they will be the people operating your equipment that we have installed. To avoid ile tumeinstall, tumekuachia, within a week zimechomeka. So sisi tuna make sure tumeinstall, alafu tumekuachia team yenye inajua cooperate. And this team ni your team, it's not our team. Because before we used to get we go to a church, we install a sound system, they want us to come and work with them. And then we realize it's bringing a conflict of interest in a way, because kuna watu wamekuwa kiserve hiyo church na tunawanyang'anya job zao. What about we train them for like a week or two na tuwaache wakiendeleza? So that's what we have been doing over the years. So yeah, those are the packages and the things that we have at 0DB Technologies.
Can you also talk about the setup? Because I know there are people that are going to assume that this is the only setup that you have
Yes.
for the podcast.
Yes.
Why don't you tell people that you have different types of setup? They can always choose. Yeah.
So in our studios, the setups are like limited, unlimited, in a way that all you have to do is to tell us, this is what I want to achieve with my podcast. This is what I want my podcast to look like. And we will do our very best to ensure that we get that set to look like that. So for the seat, it's not just these seats that we are having.
Yeah.
These are the only ones that tumeweza kukuja nazo kwa the expo. Hatugebeba zote. So we also have some comfy seats zenye ukikalia tu hivyo, either ulale ama ufanye podcast ukiwa umerelax. And then we have other different sets. So it's just organizing with us, and then we get prepared to do it for you. So that's why I was saying, like, you don't have to struggle in terms of the production part of it. All you have to do, panga content yako. Na hata kama una struggle kupanga content, tunaweza kusaidia na ideas, like for free, to make sure that your podcast iko better, and even strategies of how you can also get your podcast to grow. Things that you can be able to do for your podcast to grow. And one of the things that makes people's podcast to grow is consistency. And why we stand out now in the market is because we understand that finances can make you not to be consistent when you are doing your podcast, because you have to pay a lot of money for a production. So for us, we have affordable packages, and these packages tumeziweka in a way that we understand by then ni hard kufanya hizo vitu zote, so you don't have to spend a lot of money to buy a camera. We can just you can just pay a small fee and we sort everything for you, because tuko na hizo vitu zote, and then you just come to our studio within an hour and you're done. And the other part of that is very important, consistency pia huleta shida juu ya you record, you take a lot of time to edit, by the time you upload ulishachoka na hiyo kitu, ama unaanza kujikosoa makosa ulishafanya ukifanya hiyo podcast. So hizo makosa zinafanya u feel I need to do another take. We have a live set and we have equipment for live stream, where your podcast hakuna kuedit, tunafanya live venye tu iko. And what I've learned from that is that your podcast gets to grow faster, because haunanga ile ya nita-upload nini, unafanyanga tu kitoka hapo, and then you get to improve each and every day. Ni kama tukiwa hapa tukosee kitu, by the tunakubali makosa. Kama venye tukianza kuleta shida, tunakubali makosa, and then we collect that for the next one. And by the time tunafika the 5th or the 10th episode, tunakuwa better.
I mean, human is to error.
Yeah, human is to error. Hakuna kusema ati by the way huwezi fanya makosa. Na mustiri ukianza kujikosoa, by the way huwezi utaisonga kwa live. Utaisonga kwa live.
So, what closing remark do you have for the live audience from home?
For our live audience. So first of all is to tell you guys where we are located at, and we are just on along Kamiti Road next to Jacaranda Estate, pale Maziwa. And all I have to tell you for today is